Okay, we're going to take a look at some bamboo bats. I don't think I've talked much about these on the channel before, and I know some of you may have seen these in the store or online, and you're curious, what's this bamboo bats all about, and, should I buy one, and how well do they hit? I'll try to answer those questions the best I can here. I do want to state, though, that we've done very little hitting with these, but I took some swings with it. My son used them a little bit. And we'll talk about what I think of him. My son was 8 when he used them, but he's a pretty strong 8-year-old and uses a lot of wood bats. But the first thing is, should I buy one of these? And for most people, the answer is going to be no. And I'll explain what scenarios you might want one. And the second thing is, how well does it hit? And the answer to that is, it doesn't really matter. That's not what they're for, but they do not hit as good as the regular wood bats, if that's what you're looking for. The reason I say it doesn't really matter how good they hit, because I don't see a scenario where you'd be using these in a game, especially if you're a little leaguer. They say little league approved, but as far as I know, they're not. They're not anymore. It says BPF 1.15 down there on it. Little League, when they changed their bat standard from USSSA to USA, these things are no longer allowed now, these bamboo bats. They said, you can use USA stamp metal bats or solid one-piece wood bats. You used to be able to use these when you could use the older bats, the older metal bats that were much more powerful. You wouldn't want to use one of these in a game, even if you were allowed. They don't hit as good as the traditional wood bats like the maple or ash or birch. They just don't. I mean, it kind of feels more like a dead brick when you swing, when the ball comes off it. I mean, they hit okay. They're okay for practice, but you're not going to want to use one of these in a game anyways. It does say BB core on it, so you may be able to use one if you're an older kid in a teener type game or something that has BB core standard. But again, I don't think you'd want to use it anyways. So who would want one of these bats? And I mean, the only real use I can think for one is, let's say you don't have much money and you have one solid good game bat, and you don't want to risk breaking it in practice, even if it's a solid unbreakable type bat like a Victus or a Marucci that you think isn't going to break. But you want to go out and you want to work on hitting inside pitches and you want to work on hitting outside pitches. So you got a pitching machine set up, you're firing balls as really fast in on the hands, or on the end of the plate, and you're going to take some off the end of the bat. You're definitely going to take some on the handle, and that's to be expected. You're working on those pitches. You're going to miss hit some. You're going to get jammed, and you don't want to risk breaking your primary bat. That would be exactly what this bat is for, because the big selling point on these things is they're like virtually indestructible. They're not one solid piece of wood that's going to split and crack. That's why they're not allowed, because they're not a solid piece of wood. Bamboo is actually a bunch of little strips of wood, like laminated together. And they're not banned because they hit good or anything like that. They're just banned because that's what USA said. It has to be a solid one-piece bat, and if you want to get a non-one, they have to go through the testing process with USA, and these companies didn't decide to do that yet. And again, I don't blame them. I don't think many people would want to use these in a game anyway, so why would they go through all that to get it certified to use in a game if people aren't really going to use it? These two I have, they're 29 inches, and there's a 33-inch adult one in the back, the blue one. And I mean, they feel pretty balanced. I think they're both drop fours, the two little ones I got. They feel pretty balanced, they're indestructible. You can have some fun in practice with them, but I'd rather just get a second good Marucci and hit with it, because you're going to get the more feel of a true wood bat versus, the bamboo. It feels kind of more like a thump and more like a brick than it does with like a flexible type wood bat when you're hitting. It just feels a little different. Again, we didn't hit too many balls with them, but most people, you're not going to want one of these. I found these on sale for $25 a piece. I thought they looked super cool, and they do look super cool, with the blue and the green. But if I had to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't buy them. But for someone in that situation where they just need one extra bat that they don't want to break, and they don't have the money to buy another Marucci or Victus, and don't want to risk their game bat, this would be a possible option for you. So